Thank you, Dayananda Sagar, for this opportunity. I'm very happy to be here. I'm called Mauricious, and I'm from Uganda. I have a story to tell, and I want to begin with a question. So my question is, what happens when a child gets abandoned? Do they thrive through? Do they start harming the society? Are they rejected, or are they welcomed? So with that in mind, at least by the end of this story, you have someone to look at and you decide, who do they become? Do they go back and help the society that once rejected them? So my story begins when I was 5 years old, like any other girl. I lived in a very humble village. Lived a woman that was successful. She was a lawyer. When I asked my brother, how do you become like her? He told me that you have to study so hard. That's when my dream of becoming a lawyer, of becoming this independent woman, started coming in. So I went to my mother and I asked her, how do I become? I want to start going to school because I want to become a lawyer. So not so long, when my stepbrother that was living in the capital city of Uganda, he came back home and told my mother, I found an opportunity for Mauritius to go to school. I was very happy. I saw my dream coming true. So he took me to the city, and it was a foreign place for me because I came from a different part of the country. We spoke differently. The language was different. So he takes me to a foreign land and takes me to this place that I thought was a school, only to get abandoned by my own brother. So my brother tells me he's going to come back. As a child, you are waiting, because I didn't know where I was. So I waited for him to come back, and he didn't come back. I kept looking through the window. Maybe he's going to come back. When the gates opened, I could peep through to see if my brother is back for me. But all was in vain. So I kept understanding that I was in an orphanage. I don't have a mother. I don't have a brother with me. I don't have anyone. So what am I going to do? I have to survive. At 5 years, 6 years, now you're learning how to survive in a foreign place. So this orphanage gathered street kids. Yeah, they gathered street kids and gave them care, I should say. In that situation, it was hard. Now you're living with people that have different character. Some of them were really rude. They were really hard. So I held in because I had a dream. I knew when time comes to go to school, at least I will change my life. When the list came for the children that were supposed to go to school, my name was not on the list. Something that I held on in the midst of suffering, my name was not on the list. So when I asked them, why isn't my name on the list? I was told, for you to be on the list, you must have stayed here longer. You have just joined the orphanage. So the opportunities that are here are not for people that have just come. Others have been waiting. So I had to wait. They told me, if someone comes through for you and then they want to fund your education, then you'll get a chance to study. Now the question is, will someone come for someone like me? Will there be hope for me? Will I ever go to school? That stayed. So I could stay home, welcoming the people that went to school, asking them how school was. I admired to go to school. I knew there was someone in me that had to come out. So situations worsened, and then we could go without food, and then getting beatings. Like, literally everyone had the right to beat you. These street children had rights to beat you. They were like surviving on defending themselves from the police and harsh environments. So we lived in fear, in beatings, in hunger. And then they told us, we are going to leave this place, don't worry. After we leave, meanwhile, I'm still waiting for my brother to come. Once we leave, things are going to be better. We are going in a better place. So time came, and then we went to another place. It was still the same orphanage. Now reaching this place, I'm hoping to go to school like I'm told. I'm hoping to have at least enough food. I'm hoping to feel at least welcome. We reached the place. It was really bad. This place was really bad. Really, really bad. I can't explain. You cannot imagine. My brother likes saying it was more than a prison. To me, if I could compare, I could say yes. We used to go and survive and find water. In the beginning, we didn't have water. So we used to go down in the swamp and collect water from the fish ponds. That's how we survived. They used to warn us not to go alone because it was dangerous. This is a swamp. It's in the bush. So you don't want to go alone. That's how much it was dangerous for us. But we used to drink that water. We used to, everything, bathe on that fish water. The water that supported the fish is what we survived on. Life changed a bit for a while, and then we went to school. Now, going to school, I remember I was one of the smartest kids. My report was one of the best that we brought back to the orphanage. But then the opportunity couldn't stand longer. It could come and go. You could go for 1 year, then they'll chase you. Then you'll go another term, and then they'll chase you because there was no inflow of finances. So now education that I really longed for became saggy. I could not hold it anymore. As time changed, situations became really worse to the extent that these children that they collected from the streets could run back. So this means the orphanage was worse than the streets. You better stay on the streets. You don't have to sleep. You don't have how to cover yourself. Nothing but than staying in this orphanage. That's how this place was. So staying hungry, of course, that was the daily condition. We could eat like once a day. When we get a chance, we eat like 1 week. We have food, and then it's done. So life was really hard for me. I remember I faced stigma. If you understand the word stigma, I got sick. I was young because my mom used to look after me. So I got sick. I got a skin disease, and I suffered stigma. Even the people in the orphanage had to stigmatize me because of how I look. They would say, at least I'm not looking like Mauricious. I know you're all suffering. I know you're all doing bad, but I'm not looking like that girl. So that was the girl I was. Time worsened each and every day, but more so when this woman that was operating the orphanage got married in the US. So she left us again. She abandoned me for the second time. So she went and got married, and she told us she was going to come back. First year, she didn't come back. Second year, third year, nothing. So now we were left out. Situations became even worse. Now you are not even being beaten. You are at your own. You are living at your own. You have to find food on your own. You have to survive on your own. Like everything was you. So when the situations became worse, the government came in and then supported the kids that could trace their home to go back home. And some of them went home, and then also the street kids, those ones had already left because the place was so alarming. Now, in such a condition, there was people like me and others that didn't know where to start from. Where do I go? What do we do? Like, what is next in my life? So the place became, I don't know, a structure. The windows were not windows anymore. The doors were not doors anymore. There was nothing. Anything could come in, anything could go out. In the middle of the night, you are hearing something walking in. You don't know even what it is. You don't have electricity to see. You are living in a huge building that is dark. And then you are a girl that is growing up. So when the situations became worse, that's when the government reached out to a gentleman. He's a USA man called Robert. He's a very kind man. He gave me a hand when I needed it. So we were 10 girls, and then also like 40 boys that stayed, but he couldn't accommodate all of us, so he took the girls. When he took us, he didn't take us where the orphanage was operating. He took us to another orphanage. Now also the challenges begin. Now you are taken from this abandoned orphanage. You are expecting to have better life. You are expecting to live better. And then you are taken to another orphanage. This orphanage was also bad. It was challenging. We didn't have food. We were really like, it was the same. Do I go to school? Do I have a future? What do I do? And after some time, I remember someone tried to come to attack us through the night, because the place was also like shaggy. And then that's when this kind man took us from that place. He took us to his place. The orphanage he was operating, it was for kids, for babies. So he took us. We were so many to fit in the place he was operating, but to us that was enough. When we reached that orphanage called Malayaka House, we had shelter, we had food, we had clothes, and we felt, for the first time, we felt safe. Now, the best thing came, that was education. When I was taken to school, I was so happy because I knew now I'm going to start my journey. I didn't care how much I had lost, but I was ready to start my journey. So, reaching school, now, something that was a dream is now becoming a challenge for me, because I skipped a lot of classes down here. My foundation was so weak. My foundation was so, like, I had not learned. Now I'm sitting in class with people that have learned all their lives, that are so competitive, that are so determined, that are really smart. I remember one day the previous speaker said, we feel like we have failed, or we feel stupid because we are not told. For me, I was told. This teacher put me in front of the class and asked me a hard question, only to prove to the class that I'm stupid. He told me you will fail. At a young age, you're trying to strive through life, and then you are told by the person you would want to be that you will fail. That kept coming to my head even when I had to read. I kept feeling like maybe I'm going to fail. Maybe I'm a failure. So as school was challenging, I used to fail. Maybe he was right. I used to fail so much. I couldn't understand what they were teaching. I couldn't hear what he was saying. Like, English was hard for me. So that's when, in this midst of feeling challenged, I was introduced to a game called rugby. I don't know if you guys know rugby. Rugby is a game whereby you have to keep falling, and then you attack your enemy, then you raise, something like that. So in rugby, when you're a player and then you fall down and you stay for like 1 minute, when you stand up, you are clapped for. For me, that became a point for me. Women rugby in Uganda, they go by the word rugby, tackling life. I use that word to tackle my life now. I had to use rugby as my support. I had to use rugby as my mentor. So every time I remember, I used to want to give up, and as you are on the pitch, you fall down, you don't want to raise up because you are afraid of what, like, if I raise up, I'm going to face my challenges again. My opponent is coming. So you feel comfort of staying down. But my coach could say, Mauricious, that's not who you are. You are a winner. You have to stand up. You have to raise. You have to go through. Don't let your opponent win. Go through and take the shine. You are not meant to lose. Women are not meant to lose. In this type of a game, I learned to be resilient. I learned to be determined. I could go back to class. I don't care how much I failed. That was nothing. I knew no matter how many times I fail, no matter how big I fall down, I can still rise up. What the teacher told me didn't make sense anymore. I could fail math, and tomorrow I'll come back and I do the same number. I could fail English. So this rugby became part of my education. If you go through this route and make a try, one day I knew I'll go through the challenges of education, and one day I'll be clapped for. So with so many challenges, I graduated in the best university, where money is not the thing that takes you to the school. You had to pass. So I passed my secondary school highly. Then I had to go to this university. It is the best university in Uganda. So after finishing and graduating, Uganda is not a country whereby we have a lot of jobs. Now you have to strive through for you to find this job. Graduation is done. Now you need connection. For a child that is abandoned, I don't think you have any connection. We are living with people from America and then from Spain and other volunteers that are supporting us. So they don't have enough connection to connect you. Now, what was my step? Is this woman still going to rise? Am I going to fail? Am I giving up here? That's when the opportunity of coming to India knocked the door, and I was ready to open it. At that point, most of my friends were getting married. They were giving up. They were like, you know what? I want someone to help me with this. So I took the opportunity. Then Dayananda Sagar welcomed me in. I started doing human resources and artificial intelligence. I won't say being in India has been that easy. Of course, like a foreigner, it will be challenging. The language, the culture, you have to adapt. You have to be alone. I learned to be independent for the first time. All my life, I've always been with people. I'm here in India, I'm alone. So I've learned to be independent. I've learned to lead myself. I've learned that you can survive every situation, and the support I'm getting from the school and the friends is also helping me go through this. So me standing here, I'm not standing here as a girl that is pity, look at her, she went through this, she went through this. No, I'm standing on this platform as a girl that has used her education, as a girl that didn't give up at a point, as a girl that knew that one day the person in me is going to come out. I've broken the boundaries of society that are placed on a woman. As you're born, they don't even mind who you want to be. The society tells you who you're supposed to be. You are a woman. You're meant to be here. You're meant to be doing this. So I've broken that. As my friends were choosing to go and get married, I knew there was a woman in me that has to rise up, that has to put systems that are going to help other people. So I've broken the boundaries that people put on orphans. I've broken the boundary that once my teacher put on me as a failure. I've broken it because now I'm here doing masters. So people look at orphans as some of them will at them as a threat. I've seen this. Oh, they are wrong people, they are this, they are this. I've broken that boundary also. And I know education, students that are here, I know and I believe education is a weapon that can change the world. I'm here standing doing masters, and I know one day I'm going back to go to my village and support these kids. I want them to go to school. I don't want them to have dead dreams like I almost did because I failed to get someone to lift me. I want to assist them in education. I want to extend water to this village so that these kids and families don't have to drink from the pond. I also want to acknowledge the support that I got from different volunteers that helped us, strong women that kept me going each and every day. I'm raised by a woman called Auntie Bay, and she's from Spain, and she keeps pushing us and keeps encouraging us every day. Also Robert that gave me a hand when I almost sank. So appreciating this opportunity and acknowledging no matter how much I've fallen, no matter how far I've fallen, I can still raise. My story is still being written. But the difference is when I'm writing it today, I no longer use a pencil. I'm no longer scared that I have to erase part of me. When I'm writing my story, I use a pen because I'm not afraid anymore. I know I'll make it. I know I'm determined. I know I'll take each and every opportunity that is placed before me, and I will give the same opportunities that people in my society are lacking. Thank you.